Alright, let me show you some things about how these guys work. So, let me put myself in some bad positions, good positions. Pretend my hook is my hand. Alright, so I'm in here, he's gonna strike, right? He could, see? But if you come into here, well, there's nothing he can do. They can't reach, strangely enough, they can't reach. Once you're on the other, they're hooded or not, if you're in here, you would think he can reach. There's nothing he can do. Let go, but watch. They need to move their necks to strike. So watch, I come out here, see now he can strike. See, he needs that space to extend the neck, right? Like from here, he could, this with my hand, he could strike it, right? He doesn't want to, but he could. So now, when they hood up, not getting what I want. In any case, what I'm trying to show you is that he could strike here. He would be able to. If I go into here, there's nothing he could do. And he knows it, of course, right? Alright, so now in terms of their visual acuity and so on, they see very well. They follow things, right? But see how he could strike here? Right? He was able to, but once they're here, once you close that gap, there's nothing they can do. That might as well be your hand. You could put your hand right there, nothing would happen to you. You know, I mean, what could happen? Think about it. They have fangs, they're front fangs, right? The fangs are on top. Well, how could he possibly reach? There's no way. The question is, how do you close this gap? Now, look, he can do it. See that? Right? He can close that gap. You can go a little bit, you can get bit, or you can close the gap. Depends on many things. And it's going to take some time. The other thing is this. When it comes to the vision watch, he can watch up, but only to a certain point. Then he can't see anymore. And then you can go right behind his head, and he has no idea. If you're going to trap them down, you don't start at the head and push the head. Watch, he'll get his head out. You go lower here, and then you sort of trap the whole thing. And now, well, I'm not hurting him or anything. I'm barely even touching him, if at all. And see, he'll just stay there. Let him up. Watch, this will be bad for me. I put myself here. You see, he can strike. Alright, he didn't strike, with, that was just a bluff. But it might as well have been a strike that, in which he injected venom. So here he has me, right? Now, if you just go up, he can go up, but think about it. The fangs are on top. Like, how could he really bite, right? That's probably why they're not built to do that. The fangs are on top. What could he do from here? Just think about it. So he doesn't really have the ability. He can, from here, he could strike. You see, it would be hard for him, but from here he could. See how you see? See? And so, again, you go in. There's nothing he can do here. Not to be a dick, but I do this with my hands all day. Right? There's nothing you can do here, and if you can get back there, there's nothing you can do here either. Right? Once you're there, it might as well be your hand. It can be your hand. It can be whatever you want. Right? If you don't have this kind of control, you really have no business being with them. And that's just, the front and back. There's plenty of other things, but this is bad. Like, once you're here, see, he could strike. And if you come closer, watch what happens. Boop, boop, boop. He knows, see? He knows when he's going to lose his ability to strike effectively. So, see, he starts to sort of turn away. He might even turn around, depends how you do it, but he knows that point is coming when he's going to lose his ability to strike. Alright, so he has to decide whether you're a genuine threat or not. So going slow, we're okay. In other words, you can sort of just win them over a little bit, maybe. Let's see what happens if we can get him onto the hook. You can sort of coax him into that and take him out that way. If you take him out from behind, I'm holding the camera. If I were to use my left hand to lift him up from, say, if I was about here and my hand was on the other side of the hook, he can't turn around because the hand would be, oop, oop, doop, boop, boop, excuse me. The hand would be here, right? Oops. How could he turn around? They can't do that, right? If the hand was here, I don't want to push too hard, but if my hand was here, he can't turn around. There's nothing they can do. They're not built that way. They're built to strike from here, right? Like to here he can strike. See, when he hoods up a lot, when they're seeming to be very threatening, that's when they can be very threatening. They can be very dangerous. When they seem dangerous, they are, right? He seems, watch how he gets more dangerous, right? Well, he didn't really do it. There he is, more dangerous. All right, now there he couldn't strike. See, he's poised to. He needs to extend his neck. Once you get... Well, the thing is, he has to decide whether I'm a threat. I don't want to be a real threat and, move the thing a lot. But he knows that once he can't extend his neck, there's nothing he can do. Right here, he's helpless. Alright, here he's not. Here he can strike if he wants to, like if it were to move a lot. Let's see if we get him to do something. You know, he can. Larry, I'm a dick. See, he could. I don't want to drive him nuts. He's come a long way. But the point is, how do you close this gap? Either you're going to do it or he's going to do it. He could sink his teeth into you. You could just go into him. It's funny how you can do that, isn't it? This could be your hand. You can just grab him right here. That's how they do it. They just know. I'm talking about the guys, well, mostly in India. He's an African snake. He's an Egyptian cobra. I think that mouse is nearby. I got a loose mouse in here. Anyway, if you just, whoop, 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 if you get into here, if you hesitate here, he can do it. See? But here he can't. He's stuck right here. I don't have to touch him. He can't do anything. Look. He's trying to get out of that range. He knows. He's nullified. Alright, see? He knows. He must be very sad right now. Larry, don't feel inadequate. It's okay. Anyway, the point is, you have this gap to deal with. Right now, see how he's hooding up? He has a tremendous tactical advantage. Now, he knows as you get closer, he has to make that threat determination. If you are a threat, he's going to strike. If he believes you're okay, they don't want to fight. You know, he's not sure. See, here he's not sure what to do because it's stopped. They'll never attack first. They're not like that. That's not their thing, right? So if you go slow, he might attack, he might not. He's not that hooded, he doesn't seem as dangerous. I would just stop. You know, if I was walking along somewhere, I would just stop. Here, if you go up, he can go that high. You can stop him here. You can go very high. You can control him from here because there's nothing. Oh, sorry, Larry. There's nothing that he can do. See? So, those are the three main things. One, the most important thing, what to do about this gap. Right? If he seems dangerous, he is. You go up, boom, see, now he can kill me. See how hooded he is? The closer you get, he's going to have to make that determination. So, part two is to close that gap. You figure out where it is. You close that gap by going in under the hood. Part three, you're here. Bear in mind, this is a very bad spot for you. He has the advantage, right? But you can go up, 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 up. And they can go up, they can look up, let's call it like 110 degrees, see, like he's going past 90. But there comes a point where he's completely unaware of your presence. Because why would he need to be? He's not going to hunt something from there. He only can bite downward, right? He knows something's there, and that's where they're vulnerable, right? So you don't want to get the head, like I was saying. You want to go around here, boop, boop, doop, boop. I'm not even really touching him here. He just stays there, look. I'm not touching him. He just knows to say that. So when you see people doing stuff like that, that's what it is. Snake charmers. Let me see if I can get them to do this time. They seem like they're following the sound. They're not. They're following the movement. They react to visual cues. Watch. Whoop, 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 whoop. Pretend that I'm singing in the rain. That's how they do it, right? So da 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 da. He's not doing da da. That was a Jeopardy song. I don't know any good Indian songs at the moment, but again, also not a good snake charmer. But you get the idea. Point is, from here he could strike it. He doesn't know this side of the hook, right? But I can close that gap. Again, if that was your hand, you'd be okay. That's the truth. You'd be okay. I don't think you should, come over my house and do this because, one, you might get shot, and two, Larry just might not like it. You don't want to bother Larry, right? But, you don't want to fuck around too much. He can reach. Pretend the bottom of the hook is my hand. From here, he could reach. When they seem threatening, they can be. That means they are dangerous. It's not a threat display. That's bullshit. When they are threatening like that, with the ones from Africa, they have lungs in their ribs which extend, like we call it the hood. You could see them sort of breathing more, See, he can reach. But once you cover that gap, once you close the gap, there's nothing he can do. Bear in mind, his fangs are on top. This can be your hand. Might as well be your hand. It often is my hand. Right? See, he wants to get out of there, but he also knows there's not much he could do. He's sort of fucked, for lack of a word, right here. Right? You take it out. Once you get out of that, see that? Once you see that threat display, it's not a threat display. Don't buy that shit. that means they are able to reach you. They're telling you the truth. Now, in terms of upwardness, if that's a word, watch. You go up, you go. See, he got me. In terms of upwardness, you go up, you go up. There's going to come a point where he can't do that, right? He can get me at any point. Boop, see that? He got me. But at this point, there's nothing he can do. Why would he be able to? He can't see me because, he can't see me because they don't need to. They have fangs on the upper part of their mouth. Why would they need to be able to look up here? See? Boop. He doesn't need to. That's not how the things, like, it doesn't, it's counterintuitive, right? But watch, here he can get me. He's going to make a whole display. Boop, boop. Hey, pretend you're a badass again. Well, this can go either way. All right, there we go. So he could strike, boom. All right, once I'm in here, can't do anything. Okay. Now, you can do the same thing behind the head. Excuse me. You can do the same thing behind the head, but you don't just go, because, look, he'll go with you. See, that's like the snake charming thing. Hey, look. He should follow. He's a little weird. So what you do is get behind the head. You have to go up to the point where they can't see anymore. Ooh, and it's going to come to this point where he doesn't know that I'm here. See? Oh, let me try that again. Up. Whoop. He doesn't know that I'm here. You know, I got to be behind him. And then you can get him here. The funny thing is you can even stop touching them. This is what's so ironic. Look, he stays. I'm not touching him. He just stays. Magic. You know, snake charming. It's all bullshit. He knows I'm here. He senses it one way or the other. You know, it's the absence. Follow up on what I was saying. What I was talking about before is for cobras, not rattlesnakes, right? So I don't want to bother Shakes or anything. If you were to go behind his head like this, you could pin him, yes. But when you go up, oh, he's not really. Shakes doesn't care. He smells mouse. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. It's different. If I would go in front of him, you know, they just don't go up. So he could strike and he would win. Now he's acting like a cobra. The one time I need him not to. What are you doing, Shakes? He smells the mouse. Alright, this is not the time. This is not the time. That mouse is out there. I have a mouse trap out. I actually have cheese in it. Not my snake cheese. Oh, he really does smell it, huh? Yeah, it's driving him all nuts. I feel kind of happy for the mouse. You know, he escaped, the little Shawshank. But, you know, I can't let these guys go on like this. In any case, maybe I'll do it later. But, you know, you don't want to pin them like here because there's no hood. It's not the way to do it. You're taking an unnecessary risk. Because they don't hood up, you know, you can get struck on the way in. He's just so nice. But they're not cobras, you know. It wouldn't work that way because you're going in and they're in a more straight line, right? They're not up and they're not suddenly losing their advantage is not suddenly nullified when you go in. It's a whole different thing. All I'm saying is what I was saying before is for cobras, not rattlesnakes. Certainly not one as hungry as this poor guy is right now. All right, I'm tempted to feed him just so he's not hungry, but he is definitely not through yet. I wonder if, not that I would do this, but I wonder if I would let him go. I wonder how long it would take him to find the mouse. Probably not that long, but no, we're not going that route.